Thank you so much, Vakas, and I thank all of you at uh, Sapan for inviting me. Uh, I was listening to the earlier speakers and the context of today's meeting, and I don't think there's a more relevant time to have these discussions and to have them amongst us from different countries in South Asia. Uh, we all, I'm sure, many of you know what has been going on in India, and the kind of situation that Kushi spoke about has been replicating in India daily. We have seen rising intolerance. There have been attacks on religious minorities. Also, activists who have been working on many of these concerns have faced attacks. Human rights defenders have been criminalized. We also have seen a lot of social legislations which have been changed. There have been dilution of protective laws. The whole demographic of the country is, sort of, I mean, in terms of its governance, has been, shifting. And along with this, we have, there has been, growing mistrust and hate, which I think, is of a huge concern to all of us here, but particularly to the youth, who know that that this shift means a lot, and defines their future. I think this is one of the reasons I feel that these kind of conversations across country are very important at this stage, and for us to get together for learnings, for sharing our experiences, and for coming up with ideas to collectively deal with the crisis that we are facing is very important. I wanted to, in particular, talk about the manner in which we are seeing the Indian state use repressive laws against and draconian laws against activists, against those leading community protests, and also the shrinking democratic spaces in the country. We see this as shrinking of our right to protest. We see this as counter cases, as slap suits, as criminalization of dissent. And there have been very stark examples of this in the last few years. We have some of the leading activists, working, for rights of the community, rights of Adivasis, on environmental justice, who were arrested in the Bhima Koregaon case in 2018. Sudha Bharadwaj, one of the activists, also from PUCL, has been very recently granted bail, but the others are still in jail. Professor Varavara Rao is on medical bail, yet none of their bail applications have been finally disposed of. So these concerns, we have, along with this, we also have cases such as the Delhi riots conspiracy case, where we saw a huge situation of communal violence unfold in Delhi. Very well recorded. Everybody knew what happened over there, and instead, that case was turned around to arrest some of the leading activists in the CA, NPR, NRC protests. We all know about the citizenship amendment that was, brought in 2019, and the kind of protest that led to in all this in several of the states. There were FIRs which were filed against protesters. I think what I'm trying to illustrate here is that even registering our dissent has become extremely difficult, and this has obviously also led to the silencing of those who believe in India's democratic values. It has had a chilling effect, and especially on the youth. And that is again a very huge concern. It has become extremely difficult to demand accountability from the state, and it is very important for us to break this pattern. I also want to, because I have very limited time, I also want to share that although we are facing a huge crisis back home, I think there is also a growing consciousness which needs to be celebrated in a way. In spite of such kind of hurdles and obstacles, We have seen that, communities have risen. They have, they have come out in protest. We saw the farmers' protest, which went on for close to a year, and which, for the first time in the, under this government, a legislation was withdrawn because of the, protests that took place from the affected community, which was the farmers and the agrarian populations. Another very important, I think, example here is the Shaheen Bagh protests and the anti-CAA protests that took place all across the country. In spite of there being no, protest permissions being denied, houses of protesters being raided, and a lot of other, counter actions that came from the state, the protests went on relentlessly. Shaheen Bagh stood strong, and it was replicated across states. We had a Bagh in Mumbai. There was Bagh in Bangalore, the Bilal Bagh. There were several other, Shaheen Baghs that stood up and protected. Sorry?
You have just 30 seconds left.
Yeah, okay. No, so that actually came forward to protect, the Indian constitution that was under attack. And it was also done in a very democratic, peaceful way. It was done with the constitution in one hand and the Indian flag in the other. So I think these are very important, these are very important examples. We derive a lot of strength from them. We have seen even the youth come forward and overwhelmingly, oppose the draft environment impact assessment notification, which came out in 2020 amidst, the pandemic. So I think these are very powerful examples, and they are telling of what potential we have as people, as citizenry, as, the youth, to actually demand change. And while we are very concerned about the situation, across South Asia, while we are very concerned about, the growing authoritarianism in India, and and the communal sentiment, the intolerance, I think it is very important for us to also collect our strengths and all come together to demand accountability, demand a regional mechanism, demand, come together as South Asia to deal with some of our problems, because I think together our voices will be stronger, they'll be louder, we'll be able to very affirmatively demand change. And it's on us youth, and I have a lot of hope if it's on us. Because we have a lot to do, also to remedy the past, also to, we don't carry as much baggage. We can, I think, look at things differently. And I feel there's a lot of potential for us to work together and ensure that, that there is and there will be hope. Change in South Asia. So I just want to end with that. I didn't think I was going to be the first speaker, but I'm very keen on listening to the others. Thank you.